Hello, my name is Peggy and I run the Forest School Young Rangers Lampeter and Connecting with Nature CIC. Today I'm filming for Coed Lleol Smallwoods Wales, part of the Smallwood Association, and I'm going to show you how to make those incense cones here with some really simple, easy recipes, probably ingredients you mostly got at home, and we'll also be using some foraged ingredients. Incense is any aromatic material that releases fragrant smoke when burned. It has its roots in mankind's first experience with fire itself, when people realized certain woods had more pleasing aromas and varying emotional effects. For thousands of years to follow, people have used fragrant flowers, plants, herbs and resins as incense. The Egypt considered incense the fragrance of the gods. In traditional Chinese medicine, there are the four elements: water, fire, earth and air, and the dominant winter element is water. If people feel more sluggish this time of the year, it's said that they have an excess water element, which can be balanced out by lighting fires, burning resin and natural incenses, which brings in the fire element more. In many cultures, burning incense is thought to purify the space and send prayers or intentions up to the heavens. So I just want to show you two incense holders. I've got an incense house where you can see the smoke coming out, really lovely. And then I also made a backflow incense burner. And you can see just a little bit of smoke collecting down in the bottom there. It's quite windy here, so that's why the smoke gets blown off the top a little bit. And what you do is you use an incense cone with a hole, or you drill your hole into the incense cone, put that on top, and then the incense cone at the top, the smoke gets sucked down because the incense burner's got a hole there as well where the smoke goes down the bottom. Okay, let's get ready and make some incense now. Incenses generally are distinguished. There are two different types: the combustible incenses and non-combustibles. Non-combustible incense is any incense that are herbs or spices or any aromas that haven't got any agents in them that actually help them to burn. So it would be just like herbs like that, and I just sprinkle them over the fire, and then I can smell all the aromas coming from them. Whereas combustible incenses are any incenses that usually they got a binder in them to bind the herbs and the spices, and also a burning agent. So today we're going to make 3 different kinds of incenses. We're making one with gamma arabic powder and charcoal. Then we are making a mako incense, and we're also making a flower sugar incense cone. For the first one, I'm going to just grind a little bit of charcoal. So you can use any charcoal from the fire. And I'm just going to grind this into a really nice fine mix. You want to have all your ingredients finely mixed, because otherwise the incense cones will just burn unevenly. It's nice when you grind your ingredients, your herbs and your spices. You can always set your intentions on what you want this incense to be like. The first incense is 4 spoonsful of charcoal powder. To 2 spoons full of gamma arabic powder. Now gamma arabic powder you can buy online. So this is the base now. I've also added a little bit of water here. Ideally you want to just add really small amounts of water with a dripper, or otherwise just with a little spoon. And now we're going to add the aroma. So I'm going to just grind up some lavender and some rose petals that I harvested in the summer, just to make a nice incense that reminds me of the summer. So the first incense base is 4 spoonfuls of charcoal powder, 2 spoonfuls of gamma arabic powder, and 2 spoonfuls of herbs and spices. So I'm just going to add the herbs and spices in here now. 2 spoonfuls. You can also add any aroma oils you want to add that you got at home, like lavender oil or anything like that. I'm going to give this a really good mix before I'm going to start shaping it. For the first mix, I'm just going to take a pinch and just shape it freestyle into a little incense cone like this. You want to have them fairly small, otherwise they're really hard to dry out. And this is the charcoal mix, first incense recipe. Those incense cones we are making today, they need drying out for about a week over a heat source, and after about halfway through you'll notice that their color will get lighter at the top, which means you turn them around and then you let the bottom dry out as well. For the second incense recipe, base recipe, I'm using 1 spoonful of mako to 3 teaspoons full of herbs or spices or anything. So I'm gonna, for my spice mix, this time I'm gonna use some sandalwood powder just to make it nice wintry scents. So I think I'm gonna use 3 teaspoons of the sandal powder. For the second recipe, I'm just gonna show you a different technique, which is basically take your incense mix, your base and your spice mix, and shape it into a sausage. When you shaped it into a sausage, you cut equal parts off to make your incense cones with. I'm holding my finger here and then I'm slightly rolling them at the top to get the incense cone shape. So again, slightly rolling them. Those are the mako incense cones. And for the last recipe, I've made a little bit of a dough here, which consists of 1 cup full of water and 4 spoons full of flour. Mix the flour into the cold water and boil it all up until you get this sort of consistency, and add 1 spoonful of sugar to it and give it a really good mix and boil it up a little bit. So I'm using 1 spoonful of sugar, flour, water mix to 3 spoonsful of herbs and spices. So for the third recipe, I think I'm going to use some cinnamon, and I've also collected some pine needles which I've dried a little bit, which I'm going to add to the spice mix and grind them up. And I've also got some orange peel in here, so we'll have an orange peel, cinnamon, pine needle flavored smell. So I'm going to add the 1 spoon of cinnamon to it, and now I'm going to grind up my pine needle and my orange peel. If you add too many oils, then it can happen that your incense cones won't burn very well. So you want to always kind of balance out the oily parts, the resins, to some dry parts like plants, dried plants or barks. I'm gonna add the herbs in here. And now again, give this a really good mix. If you're new to making incense, it's always a good idea just to start with a few ingredients and then see how they go together, and then add a few more and see if you like the smells. If you made an incense and you don't like, or an incense that doesn't stick together or crumbles, then the good thing is you can always just grind up the incense cones again and then just throw them back into the pot, add a little bit of water and just make a new mix and start all over again. Add a little bit more sandalwood or a little bit more maku powder and see if that helps. And then we'll do the same with it with the others. Either form it into a sausage and roll it, cut it into equal sized parts, hold your finger on the side and just roll the tip. And then you'll notice the ones with the flour and sugar, they'll have a completely different consistency to the other ones, because the flour really sticks them together. There we go. So we've got 3 different incense cones here we've made today. The charcoal incense cones, maku incense cones and flour sugar mix. And they all got different colors and they'll all dry out a little bit different. I'm going to dry them out for about a week now and then turn them over so the bottom side will dry, and then you can start burning them. I really hope you like this video on how to make incense cones, and I'd love it if you could give it a thumbs up, share, like and subscribe to the Coed Lleol YouTube channel. My name is Peggy from Connecting with Nature CAC in collaboration with Smallwoods Wales. Thanks for watching.